Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
I just couldn't wait for this live to just be able to talk to you. I hope we are going to be fine because my internet is broken. Your internet is kind of so, and you are frozen for me. I don't know, Nikki. Andrew is frozen for you too. Yes. Okay. Let me check.
Damn it.
You're back.
Okay. Well, hopefully it holds still.
Awesome. How are you, Andrew?
I'm good.
Where are you?
I'm at the Lazy Double D Ranch, and we're just
Where are,
finishing the Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider facilitator training.
wow. Before we start, if you don't mind, I would share a couple of things also in Hungarian if people would join in, if they would join the Hungarian line. Szóval sziasztok mindenki! A mai estén Andrewval angolul fogunk beszélgetni kint az oldalamon. Hogyha szeretnétek csatlakozni, akkor Beck Nicolettehez és a csapathoz tudtok csatlakozni Zoomon, akik angolul vagy magyarra fogják tolmácsolni ezt a mai beszélgetést. Hogyha szeretnétek csatlakozni, akkor nincs más dolgotok, mint ide a kommentbe mindjárt beteszik a srácok a linket, és akkor tudtok csatlakozni a magyar Zoomhoz, illetve, hogy nehogy lemaradjatok róla, ma este föl fog kerülni angolul is és magyarul is a YouTube-ra. So I just told them that we have a Hungarian line, and we're also going to share the video on my YouTube channel in English and also with the Hungarian translation tonight. So if they want to go and listen to it again, they can. Oh my God, I love this topic.
What do you love about the topic?
I love the topic because I got to this point the first time in my life that I love my body. Crazy.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'm so happy. I love it so much. Like I really have so much fun with it. It's easy, light, no problems, does not hurt. It's just amazing. And I thought so when I met the first time when I met the tools of access consciousness, I was able to change everything, like basically everything. But my body never seemed to change, and I was like, it's not possible. Like I should be able to change this, but I just couldn't. And I took a bunch of classes. I also took classes with you in Paris. I can't forget, we were in Rome, and you and Gaia were on stage saying, hey guys, come to Paris, bring your body for Valentine's Day to Paris. I was like, yes, I'm doing that. And it was a 3-day body. And then at the end, you were like, do you want to stay for the ESSE class? I'm like, yeah, I would love to. But my reality was so much smaller. I was like, how much is that? And you were like, it's not expensive. I'm like, okay, how much? And you said, I don't know, this. I'm like, yeah, I'm staying. And yeah, those days just changed so much for me. And yeah, I'm just so happy now. So finally, one time in my life, we are having a conversation about bodies, and I'm not struggling with my body. So I'm like congruent with the energy, finally. So you're coming to Hungary. I'm so happy with the ESSE class, and I would love to talk to you about bodies. And I was talking to other people, asking them like, hey, I'm going to have this conversation with you. What do you guys would like to know about bodies? And people were like, how to change your body? Like, how do you do that? So when someone just, getting to know all these tools, so maybe they took the foundation class, like, what would you say? Like, what is the way to change the body?
Well, I think the easiest way is like anything else in your life. Ask. The amount of times I've had people come to me with their body things and they're complaining about their body. They're like, oh, this is blah, 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 or this is whatever. And I was like, okay, so have you asked to change it? And they were like, oh, no, I haven't actually said, okay, so what would it take for this to change? Or what do I have to do different to change this? That wasn't ever anything that they actually, did prior to talking to me. And it's,
That's
you
so
know,
cool.
it's really funny because that's what you really need to do to change anything in your life is to ask for it. So that's step number one.
Step number one.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, I would ask like, what is step number two?
Uh, choice. You know, so it's really funny. So many, like, especially with your body, it's like your body likes to move. It's physical, you know. So you thinking about spending all day thinking about changing your body isn't really going to change your body because that's not really kind of a body. Like bodies don't think, you know. Bodies like to move. So it's like you have to take some actions around the changes you would like. You know, like a lot of people would like to lose weight, but then they don't actually take any action or change anything. They just expect it to happen by magic, but that magic doesn't include, um, I don't know if I froze or you froze. Oh no. It doesn't include,
Okay.
oh, did I
I'm,
freeze or were you freezing?
I'm not sure what's happening, but we are back. Okay.
Okay. Um, so what you call? I was saying, you know, that you know, to change your body, you have to make choices. You know, so if you're like asking to lose weight, well, okay, so what do you have to do different to actually do that? You know, the thing that most people don't like want to do is they would like things to change, but they would like everything to stay the same at the same time. Like, you know, if you're asking to change your body, then you have to change things, like change how you are with your body, or change how you know, you have to change the activities that you do with your body. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be, you know, everything has to change, but there has to, you actually have to have changes with your body. You have to change things.
Hmm. It's so interesting because I heard all of this from you many
Mm-hmm.
times, and I feel like I had to go to the bottom where I was like, you know what I felt? It was so interesting. So I looked at the mirror and I was like, this is not my body. And this
Mm-hmm.
is not my body. That was my feeling. I'm like, how it looks, how it feels, it's not my body. And what was interesting to me is asking the question, like, what's my reality? Is my body? How would it feel? How would it look? How would it move? What would it do? And it took me basically a year and a half or 2 years to get to the point where I was like, okay, this is not working. I have to change something. And then as soon as I was asking for the change, a person showed up and she told me, hey, talk to this person. And I started to work with someone, like going to the gym, changing my eating habits. And it wasn't like a new rule that I was following. It was more like I didn't eat all those things that I used to, which I thought was, healthy, matcha lattes and gluten free, I don't know, crackers and all this stuff all day long. And I was like, but I'm eating healthy stuff. Hey, hello.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I stopped eating those things, my body changed. In 20 days, I lost 5 kilos. Like I looked completely different. And I was like, oh my God, and it started to feel something that, oh yeah, this feels much more like my body than what I was experiencing in the past couple of years. But I think this is where you have to get. This is the point where you have to get. Is like, hey, I'm changing this. I have to change this, and yeah, it was so interesting. And now I see because I stopped eating all of those things, and now sometimes if I go back and eat them, like I would bloat and I would have discomfort, all of this, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Like all of this food that I was told they're good for you, I was like, not for my body. My body doesn't like them, and it changed completely. Like it changed the way how I am with my body and everything basically, and I feel just really happy in it. But yeah, I think this is where most people don't go to actually look at what their body is desiring.
Mm-hmm. I think, and you know, like you said, your body is different. So, like what they were telling you is healthy, might it might be really healthy for someone else's body, but for yours, it's like, okay, that's not what works. and I know, like, with my body, there's times where it's like there's something that's really good and I'm really enjoying it, and then, you know, a month later or something, I try it and it has like the opposite, where I don't feel great after eating it, or like I get, bloating or whatever. And it's, the funny thing is that we think that everything should be the same. Like, oh, I found something that's good for me, so it's going to be good for me for the rest of my life, and that's just not actually true.
So you want to say that everyone's body is different, and we can talk to our bodies?
Yeah, and I think the thing is that you have to like start looking at that. Like I said, asking the body. It's like, okay, when you start asking for things, you can start becoming aware of more, because with all things in access, the point of a question is to gain awareness. So if you start asking, even if with your body, it's like start asking your body, okay, body, what would you like to eat? Or body, what would you like to wear? And you'll start getting more information around that by just asking your body. And all the things, everything with your body can be really summed up by ask your body, because your body is smart. It knows what it requires, it knows what it needs, it knows what it can have that will start changing it. And how do you do it? Well, you just start asking.
And what to do when people have for me, I try to come from my experience, because this is what I heard from many people, and I know all these people who are on this live, they're really they're kind of like in the same place right now. Is many people experiencing like hormone imbalances, all this weird new stuff that my mom didn't have it when they were younger. And everybody has like bloating and all these digestion problems. What do you think? Why is that, and how can we change those things?
Well, I just look at them as, from like with the access tools and everything. One, what if you didn't look at it as a problem? Because point of view creates your reality. So if you say, oh, this is a problem, then you just keep, like, it stays a problem. Rather than that, what if you looked at, okay, so body, what is, asking your body what it's actually doing with this? Because, okay, so you have hormone imbalance. Okay, well, imbalanced according to who? And, what does your body actually need to change it? Because one of the things that your body does is it adapts. So it's adapting to something, but is it actually working? And then what do you need to, like, my basic question is for everything is, what do I need to do to change this? We've had lots of people with hormonal things using the access consciousness body process, where they said it totally changed for them, or it started to get better, or different things opened up. So I think you have to look at it from a different point of view, or at least I look at it from a different point of view of like, okay, so like I just, for anything going on in my body, I go, okay, body, is this a problem? Yes, no, it's not a problem. Okay, so what's going on then? My favorite tool is one of the ones we give out right away in Access is, who does this belong to? Is this mine? Is this someone else's? Or is this something else's? But then I start asking questions and using the tools. And please realize a lot of the times, the funny thing is, like people come to me for sessions and they're like, oh, I have this going on. How many sessions is it going to take to change it? And I'm like, I haven't even worked on the person yet. I don't know. It could be, let's see how you're doing after one session. But the other thing I tell people is, look, you've had this going on for how long? And they're like, oh, like years or months, or, well, what if you were willing to do, like, at least allow that same amount of time to change it? Because so often we expect, oh, I'm going to change it, and then it should be changed, like, oh, I did one session or I got one thing, it should change. But if you've had it going on for years, sometimes your body needs a little bit of more time to start adapting and changing and moving in a different direction.
This is so appealing to me, because I want everything right now. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is where we are getting stuck.
Well, and you know, I remember working on you and your session and everything, because you know, you had your ankle and everything was really bothering you and hurting, and so much of that changed just from acknowledging what you were aware of at the time and the things that your body was showing you. But it's really funny because we think it's like these physical things, but or it takes a while to change. But with you, you know, like immediately after the session that we had in class, it was like really changing and different, and it opened up a whole lot of space. And so that was one of the things that I realized is when I was working on with bodies and with the access tools, it's, you know, whether you think it's something physical or not, there's an energy that's creating it, and the thing that's creating it is actually the points of views you have for anything. You know, you have some fixed point of view that creates what's showing up, or you know, and so when you can start undoing that, you know, like the most of the time with my body, what I do most is like, you know, when I have an ache or a pain or something, I'm like, okay, everything doesn't allow me to allow this to change, pock and pod, or you know, everything I'm unwilling to be, know, perceive, and receive about this, pock and pod. And I just start doing that with the things, and just kind of go about my day, and then like it will bother me again, or I'll think about it again. I'll be like, everything doesn't allow this to change, pock and pod. And the amount of times I've done that over the course of a week, and then I forget about it the next week, I'm like, and then a week later I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gone all of a sudden. It's like totally different.
Isn't it weird when you have an ache or pain and then it's bothering you and then it's gone and you don't even recognize it? It's like it's gone. It's just so funny. Yeah, sometimes it's the same for me. It's bothering me so much and then it's gone. And I'm like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, my pain is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even recognize it. I love this conversation. Can I have more questions? Okay. So I love the ESSE work, and I know that you like it too. And no, I mean because you teach a lot of body classes, not just ESSE. So that's why I'm like, but I know that you love ESSE. What is the difference for you between ESSE and all the other body works?
So, like you were saying, so one of the things, ESSE stands for Energetic Synthesis of Structural Embodiment. And like ESSE, where it differs from the 3-day Access Consciousness 3-day body class, if you've taken that, is we have in the body class, we have these hands-on processes where we're asking an energy to run. So you just lightly put your hands on the body, and then that's it. With ESSE, we have like, there's more of an engagement and more of a kind of physical sense of touch and kind of working with the tissue, and just the pressure that you can apply, whether it's energetic or physically, you know, putting pressure on. So I think that's you know, one of the differences. And there's just kind of movement really involved with when we're doing ESSE, you know, like allowing the body to move, and also maybe, you know, you might want to move the arm or something to get it in a different position. Whereas with the body processes, you know, it's just kind of like you're laying on the table taking a nap.
I really like what Susie said about ESSE, that, or maybe Gary, I can't remember, who said that ESSE is what it does with the glue of the judgment.
It undoes the glue.
Undoes, yeah. So what, like because you're working on a fascia, right?
Yeah.
So what it does, like what judgment does to the body, and what ESSE can change?
Well, so what Gary was talking about is it undoes the glue of judgment. So, well, what does that mean? Well, you know, it's like you have these things that for every judgment you have, it locks into your body. It's like, you know, any fixed point of view you take, it locks into your body. So even if it's not anything, you know, a point of view you don't even have about your body, just about something else that's, you know, about money or something, it still affects your body. And so, you know, those, like, energetically what occurs is, to hold those judgments in place, you need more judgments, because You can't keep, you as an infinite being and your body, you like to move. You're always moving. And, like they talk about, science talks about, if you look at the wall, like we look at the walls and we think they're solid, but they're actually more space. And then even the atomic structures, they're always in motion. The atoms, electrons, they're always moving. But we think everything is solid. And so to keep things solid, you have to do more judgments and more judgments. And so what ESSE starts to do is it starts to break down, that where we have that solidity, that those really solid areas that we don't think can change. And it kind of just melts them. How? I don't really know. I just know it does.
I remember when I had the session with you, my ankle, after it was just a half an hour, I think, and my ankle was half of the size and it moved better. You remember, like you could move it. I have a cool story for you. I have to share this with you. So I came back from Paris, and in like 2 weeks, I went to my father's house, and I arrived, and he was like walking around weird, and he couldn't move his arm. I'm like, hey, Dad, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I almost fell, and I grabbed something, and my shoulder hurt so much. And I'm like, hey, I learned something amazing in Paris from an American doctor. Like I use my keywords like Paris, American doctor. Oh, it must be good, right? Because otherwise he would be like, leave me alone with your stuff. So he sat down and I started to work on his arm, like really slowly, just how I learned with the ESSE energy. It was amazing. Like I could stop his arm where he couldn't move above. So it was like amazing. I was just so following the energy. It was amazing. And we did like 20 minutes, I think. And he was tired a little bit. I let him be. And an hour later, he was leaving to work and he wanted to grab something from the cabinet and he just grabbed it. And my stepmom, she's like, Laszlo, what did you just do? And I'm like, Dad, you can move it around. He's like, oh my God, it's gone. It was just gone.
Yeah.
And that story for me is he's like, every time he has something, he's like, can you do that thing on me that you learned from the American doctor? I'm like, sure. Here you go. And that was amazing. It was amazing. It was like constructed, blocked. It was amazing how the ESSE could just ease all the energies and everything.
Well, and so often we think like changing our body takes effort. No, changing your body doesn't take effort. It just takes a request and a willingness to be present and receive.
I should have talked to you 2 years ago.
I mean, you kind of did. It was 2 years ago.
It was 3 years ago. Yeah, but 2 years ago, I started my body wasn't working the way I wanted. And I had 2 years and finally it's gone. I changed it, but I thought that it takes effort to change it.
Yeah, but we have this phrase in Access called "All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory." That can include your body. All of life comes to you with ease and joy and glory. Like changing your body, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory.
Oh my God, makes sense.
But so often we think that we have to do this effort and even changing our body to if you wanted to look a certain to lose weight or something, you have to do all this effort. Well, no, it doesn't have to be effort. You just ask and receive, and then you can do the things. But so oftentimes, what requires the effort is when we have fixed points of views, because we have to try and force ourselves to overcome our points of views. Well, no, you actually don't have to force yourself to overcome them. You could just go, okay, all the points of views I have about this, talk and pod.
Wow. So you would do the same thing, because what I see with people, especially people I talk to, we are having a foundation right now. And what I see is, so people are so stuck in something and it feels to them, be not able to change it.
Yeah.
And so if someone would be really stuck in something and they feel like they're not able to change the issue with the body, issue, this is their point of view that it's an issue, but this is what you would tell them also?
Well, it just depends. I mean, one of the things I realized is I got this from Gary, is for anyone that claims they have an issue with their body, I usually always ask them who issued it to them.
Well, okay, I couldn't hear it. Can you repeat it? I think it's not just me who couldn't even
So
hear what you
when
just said.
someone says, "Oh, Andrew, I have this issue," and they use specifically the word issue, I ask them, "Okay, so who issued it to you? Who gave that to you?" Because issue in English can be a problem,
Yeah.
or it could be like if it could be a verb where it's like give it, like if I issued you something, I gave it to you.
Wow. Wow.
And so often everyone who has that say, "Oh, my mother," or "Oh, my father," or "Oh, my friend," or whoever else. I'm like, okay, and they pock and pod that, and that starts changing it in a, way faster than trying to struggle with it. Because the other thing to realize is you can never change a lie. So that's why all these things with our bodies, we have all these lies that we buy. Well, you can't change a lie with your body. You can only acknowledge a lie and then choose something different.
Wow.
So if you're trying, to change this issue, well, if it's not really yours in the first place, then you can't change it. It's not yours. But so often we struggle with these things when the energy, and that's what I was saying about like that, that effort. We're trying to do all this effort rather than, you could just ask questions and start to kind of unravel the, whatever that is, because like you said, it's really solid and it's really intense and it feels like I can't change it. Okay, well, let's ask some questions around that and then we can start to see if that's true. And that's what, the foundation class is really about too, is learning those tools and practicing it.
Yeah. So now there is a prereq for ESSE, and so people should take the foundation first and then they come to the ESSE class.
So the ESSE class is 2.5 days long. And the prerequisite for that is an Access Foundation class. And over the 2 days, we really, I like to say it's like 2 days where you get to experience the energy of ESSE. You get to have your body worked on, and then you get to work on other bodies throughout the 2 days, 2.5 days. So you can kind of discover this energy and learn to be it. And, like Nicolette, then when your dad says he hurt himself, you can help him out.
Yeah, it's amazing. I use ESSE on myself too, because I feel sometimes, when I wake up in the morning that my ankle is frozen, so I'm not really able to move it. And sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. It's really rare now that it's not too good. But when I feel that on the mornings, I start to run ESSE, or I just move it really slowly. And it's crazy, it changes. And also because my fracture was open, it's really solid in some places. And when I start to work on them, it's just crazy. It's like, I love the example that we did at the ESSE class. We were using the corn scratch, right?
The cornstarch, yeah.
Yeah. And wow, that was like, I couldn't believe it.
Well, the other thing I realized was, point of view creates your reality. So if you talk to and what do I mean? Well, when I started working on people and I would realize that they're like, oh, this is really tight or this is really solid and it's never going to change. Well, if I came and worked on it with that point of view, then I'm just creating that rather than I started looking at, okay, so what energy could I be to change this? Or asking more of a thing of like, well, okay, so that's how it was, but what else is possible? Okay, I get it can be quote unquote really solid now, but what if it was less solid? Like what would it take for you to be less solid, and what would it take for you to be less solid? Rather than looking at it like, oh, this is, like I said, oh, this is a problem and I've had it for years and it's never going to change. Well, point of view creates reality. Congratulations. You're amazingly powerful. You can keep creating that problem.
Yeah. I mean, my body has changed so much since I know the tools.
Yeah.
And what is amazing is that sometimes I want to change something in my money situation, I don't know, or business-wise. and my body changes too. So it's like amazing. I really love
Yeah,
it.
and the other thing is your body has to has problems before you come to the ESSE class, so you get the most out of the class.
I love it. Or you can just come with no problems.
Oh, you can't come with no problems. I mean, then why would you go to the class if you have no problems with your body?
Because then you could create more possibilities. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. And I also think, because many people were asking me about ESSE classes, like, am I becoming ESSE practitioner? Am I be able to do sessions on other people? And I said, yes, but also I think that's one part, but then your body changes and you learn something. You're being in this energy for 2.5 days, and not just your body changes, because that's what I felt when you let go from the body. Like you working on my ankle, I had so many judgments and points of views around the whole thing, and not just about. I think even from before, like money stuff attached to those, and like other stuff changed in my life, not just my.
Well, I mean, after that, your whole life changed.
Yeah, it's true. You're so right. Don't come to ESSE class because your life is going to change. Yeah,
But
it's so true.
I
My
mean,
whole
and
life
the other
has
thing
changed.
is, it's like for me, like, because I remember, like, your session was really cool because it was really like your ankle and everything you were asking to change was about stepping forward, and like how you injured it was about where you were kind of stuck and you wanted to change your life. And after that, obviously that accident changed your life and it got you moving in a different direction. And then after the ESSE session, again, you kind of changed your life and went in a different direction and kind of stepped into something else. So it's just really funny because we often have these areas of our body that are bothering us, and it kind of has like it's in the same energy of like, oh, you're hurting your feet or you're hurting your ankle, and it's always about like stepping up or stepping into something, or being stepped on. It's just really funny how the energy kind of corresponds to the God, is that a metaphor, or is it the what we're saying with the words, or what you're choosing in your life outside of your body too?
Yeah, it's amazing, and thank you for saying that. Actually, for me, choosing that class, just to go to Paris and choosing the class and then staying longer. And like, you're so right. Like, thank you for this acknowledgement, because my whole life has changed since then. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. I can't wait for a Budapest class. So
Yeah.
my life is going to be even more amazing.
I don't know. We'll see. No, you can.
Can I have a session?
Your life's already too amazing. You can't get more amazing.
I hear you. Okay. And I have another question, because many people ask me who are watching now, is that are you doing sessions in Budapest while you are staying, or you're not doing sessions? Because that was a big question, because everyone wants a session with you.
I didn't. I think talk to me. I might have a day or something. That's
okay.
Again. I can do
well, I just saw a couple of people who texted me, private messaged me, and they were asking if you would do a private session. I was like, I'm going to surprise him on the Facebook Live.
Oh, put me under the spot in front of all these people on live. I see.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly. We'll see how I have to. Yeah, I haven't figured out.
Yeah, we have to look at the schedule, but
how long I'm in Budapest. But I'm also just excited to be in Budapest because it's my first time in Budapest.
Wow, this is your first class in Budapest?
Yeah, my first time. I haven't even been to Budapest for anything.
You haven't been to Budapest?
No.
And I am hosting you?
Uh-huh.
How lucky.
Yes.
Awesome, I love it. All right, thank you, Andrew. I don't know, if there is anything else you would add or say, or I don't know.
Well, I just think, in the ESSE class, like you're talking about, we work on bodies and you're getting your body touched, but your whole life changes. And it just amazes me how much, unlocking these areas in our body and changing our body actually changes our whole life and changes just how you interact with the world. So even though we say it's a body, like a body thing. It's not really a body thing. It's a whole, like, change your whole life thing.
Oh, and can I add one thing? So what I realized after the class, I was able to follow the energy even more than before. It was just interesting to realize that things were pinging like, oh, go this way or go that way, and because when we were working on the bodies, that was my first class where you were like, okay, I can't tell you what to do, follow the energy. You helped us, but at the same time we were just following the energy with the sessions. And then after the class, I was kind of in that mood and being able to follow the energy more. I love that part too.
Cool.
Awesome. So we have some spots left, and we are going to be in Budapest, close to Calvin Square, in one of my favorite venue. Actually, I love this place. It's so elegant, and then also the area, nice restaurants and coffee bars. So if you guys are in other countries, come to Budapest. The class will be in English, and we will have Hungarian translation. And we start on the 4th on the evening, 7:30. And we have Saturday and Sunday. And Budapest is really beautiful, especially in
November?
Yes, it's November.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the autumn. Yeah, the word that didn't come to me. So come, and one more thing. If you guys love this conversation, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch it in English, and we're gonna have the Hungarian translation converted into a video, and we're gonna put that on YouTube as well. And I'm sure Andrew will share it, and we're gonna share Andrew's Facebook page. You can follow him too. And thank you, Andrew, for joining us.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see you in Budapest.
Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, bye guys.
Bye everyone.